Hello. Hello. How are you? Welcome to MarshStream and tonight's bingo hosted by Josh Kornbluth. I'm Stephanie Wiseman, Artistic Director and founder of The Marsh. and MarshStream and the Bingo Sidekick. Thank you so much for joining us. Please consider supporting MarshStream and its artists with a tax-deductible donation to the tip jar. Please subscribe to the Marsh's YouTube channel and be notified when our shows go live. Here's what's coming up. You can see all the scheduled shows and archive shows at themarsh.org. This weekend, Solo Performer Spotlight features the inimitable, beloved Jeff Hoyle performing his new solo, What Will I Be When You Grow Up, with a live performance on Saturday at 7 p.m. followed by a Q&A with Jeff. Mark your calendars. Then there's the Monday Night March, the Wildcard Tuesdays. Wednesday, Solo Arts Heal features ANCAN, a peer-to-peer organization empowering people with serious and chronic health issues. It's hosted by founder Rick Davis with a performance by Jackson Nogal about his first day back to work after his operation. And on Thursdays, Stephanie's MarshStream, I am featuring the Josh Kornbluth. Yes, this Josh Kornbluth. And we will be discussing you all, the bingo community, Josh, and the letters. So please tune in. And now, what we're all waiting for, we are waiting for Josh Kornbluth.
Hi, thank you, Stephanie. Hi, everybody. Let me just unspotlight myself so I can be in the gallery with you on my screen. I'm Josh. We're going to play Marsh Bingo as we do pretty much every Friday night at 7 p.m. Cheers to Dave. Yeah, and if anyone, if you would care, if you don't have your camera on and you're comfortable putting your camera on, put your camera on, that's cool. Then there's more of us sort of showing. I've been noticing that some people turn on their cameras and they show what appears to be a frame devoid of humanity as part of, that's the presentation. And I just want to say I respect that. I respect it. It reminds me that negative space is important and maybe even more important. I mean, dark matter, there's supposedly more dark matter than everything else in the universe. And so I get your message. It's loud and clear, but please keep doing it. Okay, cool. The other thing I want to mention is that I don't know what these two buttons play on my accordion. See, because that's E major. So as I've mentioned in the past, my button accordion plays E major and B major. Right, so those are cool. So we have, and then we have, okay, cool. And then there are these two buttons that go, and this button that goes, and I don't know. I mean, I'll look it up one day, but I don't know. And I don't know if they change, according to mood or according to how close Joe Manchin is to finally, getting rid of the filibuster. I don't know how these buttons are related to the things that go on in the world. I want you to know that there's some mystery in this machine, in this box here. This button accordion was apparently made in 1914. And it was, I found out from my button accordion teacher, who I have Zoom lessons with in the middle. She's in like somewhere in England, Devon, sorry, I don't know. Anyhow, that this is not even like an actual button accordion. It's a prototype. Like it's made out of like a box. And so I said, well, we're not going to make the actual button accordion here at Honer right now. So what we're going to do is we're just going to sort of make a box and put stuff in it. So this is like some prototype thing. And I think that's pretty cool too. One thing that I won't play for you is something I've just begun. It's a project, which is, I've been learning a lot of English tunes, I can't do it on command. No, can't do it. Anyhow, there are tunes that I can play when I'm looking at the music. But I'm trying to teach myself someone to watch over me by by two Jewish guys who were brothers. And it's a really beautiful tune, but because they used a lot of sophisticated chords, like if you listen to a recording of Sarah Vaughan doing it, for example, or Ella Fitzgerald, or pretty much anyone, they use a lot of chords like E6, stuff like that, and E flat 9. There are no buttons for that, but I'm determined, and maybe one day in the fullness of time, I will play for you my rendition of the Gershwin Someone to Watch Over Me. But in the meantime, I'd like to take us to a somewhat less complicated tune, a tune that is titled the Marsh Bingo Song, and it goes like this, and it could be in B, but it happens to be in E. Marsh Bingo, Marsh Bingo, Marsh Bingo, Marsh Bingo, Marsh Bingo, Marsh Bingo. And the great work begins. So hope everyone is cool. It's been a year of COVID time, and I don't know about you guys. I found it to be a time for me of traveling, spreading out, meeting new people, reaching out and touching. A lot of tactile experiences with other. No, it's been awful. Here we go. Game number 1. Oh, I should tell you, to play bingo, you need a bingo card. We're going to play maybe 3 games, and each game you need a new card, new blank card. You can get it by clicking on the link. You can print them out or play it online by clicking on the link that's in the chat area, and it'll look like this. It has a free thing in the middle, and then we get 5 in a row in any direction. Then you bingulated, and then you type bingo with or without the exclamation point. If you're playing on one of the Spanish bingo cards, which have been adapted from Loteria, then you might want to put bingo with an exclamation point that's right side up at the end and upside down at the beginning. It's just totally up to you. That would just be culturally sensitive. Okay, cool. And then you wave your arms and then we'll play. Okay, the first bingo ball of this Friday, March 19th. And it seems like 319 seems important. What is 319? 319. It seems important. It's not like the shorthand for pot, right? I'm so behind the times. Anyhow, it's G52. G52. So if you have G52, mark it. And you're on your way. You're 1/5 of the way to bingulating. N38. 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 Followed by I-29. I-29. If you miss one of the numbers that I called out, or if I start talking about myself uncontrollably without any limitations and forget to say the number, in any case, you can find safety and security over in the chat area. And commiseration, I'm sure. B1. B1. It's not every day that you get B1. It's just on the random days that it turns up. G56. G56. I-27. 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 I just want to say to my Asian sisters and brothers out there, horrible time, terrible time. The fucking racists, we got to beat the shit out of them. And I'm just really sorry for any kind of pain you're going through. The love of my life, who also is my wife, which is, what are the odds of that happening, is Asian American. And it affects, I know, like every aspect of life. When to go out, going out by yourself. It's a dark time. And we got to fight white supremacy. And I knew that before, but I really, really know it now. So I just want to send out vibes of support and love to my Asian American sisters and brothers out there. I-16. 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 074. 074. So I don't know if you ever used that. I think I actually learned it from someone here. There's an app called Libby. Do you know about that? Libby. It's an app that it allows, I mean, you could do it with other apps, I'm sure, but it allows you to borrow ebooks from the public library. You put in your library card and then you use it. There's probably like a much more direct way of doing it, but it's nice, and it's called Libby, which is a really nice name. It's short for, I think, Liberina. B15. B15. And so but you only have it for a limited amount of time. And then Craig, it looks like there's a cat like on your head. You look like your head is a cat. It's really, for some reason, you seem like a founding father to me, if our founding fathers had head cats. But it's very cool. So I borrowed G58. So I borrowed a book a week ago, and usually you get 4 weeks, but then they take it back. So it's on your like device, your phone or your iPad, and then they take it back. But this was a special skip the line thing. I don't know how I got it. I got this book. It's called, and I read it, and it's called Mexican Gothic. And I don't know if any of you have read it. It is, in fact, a Gothic that takes place in Mexico with Mexican people. 062, and it's really, really engaging. But the thing is, I only had 7 days. It was like a quick thing, and so I had to do it in 7 days. And I'm a really slow reader. And so yesterday I had 4 hours left and I had half the book to go. And it became like a thing for me to finish the book before they took it, because it just will disappear. It'll just, it just goes away. And the thing is, there was a lot of suspense in this book. I won't go into a lot of detail, but this woman who's sort of a debutante. She's a rich young woman who's lived sort of kind of very an easy life as far as she's concerned, but then she goes to see her cousin, who seems to be trapped in an evil mansion with these people who are in a house that seems to be possibly itself an organic thing that can read your thoughts. N40. And so, it really is, it's something. It builds up and builds up. So I'm just like chugging, man. I'm chugging. It's like, there could have been an asteroid last night. There could have been like a notice of an asteroid heading to Earth. It was like, fuck it. I must finish Mexican Gothic. And so I'm zooming along, and it was exciting. It was exhilarating. N33, because I'm used to reading like a page or two and then falling asleep for an hour or a week. That's my usual reading habit. And it's actually kind of cool to read continuously. You actually get sort of a flow, which I didn't know. 068. So anyhow, it was going to go at midnight. It was going to disappear at midnight. So like 11:30, I was like a couple pages from the end, and I'm like, yes. And then I kept checking, going back and forth from the thing. This is like a totally uninteresting thing, and that's my specialty. But I was going back and forth between my Kindle app, reading it, and then the Libby app, which told me you have 30 minutes from me. And I finished it just under the wire, and it was really exciting. I-22. But not only was it exciting, but the last line was beautiful. And the fact that I had raced through half of this book to get to that last line was very gratifying. And then sure enough, I watched, because now I was happy to see it disappear, because they couldn't win anymore. They couldn't hurt me because I'd finished the book. I-17.
Josh, did you like this book very much?
I liked it very much. It was very enjoyable. It's not a book that, like, I don't think has super changed my life or my perspective on life, but it was really fun. And I actually I was reading the beginning of it as a sample on Libby, and I just, when you get hooked in by a writer, and then I just was like, I find myself continuing to read this. Like I read the first word and the second word and then the 10th word, and then I kept going. I was like, I'm reading this and I must have it, It's really good. It's really fun. It is, I've never read a Gothic novel before, but it has monsters and supernatural things and maidens in distress and handsome men, and then men who are homely. So there's something for all of us. And yeah, it was really fun. B9. B9. Yeah.
I mean, I hate to take away this experience for you, Josh, because it sounds like you really ripped and roared through this book when you normally just dawdle, right?
That was the impression I was trying to convey, and a true one, Stephanie.
So, there is one way to keep a book that is going to be returned. It's a hack, it's not a friendly one, it's mean, but whatever. Do you want to hear what it is?
Stephanie, I'm getting the same queasy but excited feeling that I got maybe 40 years ago when Jimmy Weinstein at In These Times newspaper in Chicago told me that he had a number you could punch in and you could make all your long distance calls for free. And we used it for months. Okay, this was socialist newspaper, it's still going, right? We used it for months. It was like, this is great, it's free. And then he gets a call from Greenpeace. It was Greenpeace's account. Like, he had just randomly found it by like, and he was taking the money from Greenpeace. It's like, it wasn't even like the Republican National Committee. So I feel sort of like that. Please go on.
Just turn off your Wi-Fi. And they can't take it back till you turn it back on.
I'm flipping out right now, Stephanie.
I mean, but how long can any one of us keep our Wi-Fi off? Let's face it. But maybe that extra hour, just in case you didn't, finish, you could. That is one way, just in case in the horrible thing you actually, even though how hard you worked, you couldn't have done it till 12:30.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. That this is a hack. I understand now why people like computers, because that's a hack and that's beautiful. I literally would never have thought of that. And it's very simple.
My sister told me.
Your sister, she has a PhD.
That's right, the smart one.
Yeah, so that's people with PhDs. When you get your PhD, you learn about when to turn off Wi-Fi. It's like your whole master's.
Well, hers was philosophy, so it was a whole philosophy, I guess.
Yeah, philosophy. She probably also had the number of Greenpeace for a time. 073. 073. 073. G53. G53. So then I read the beginning of another book and it dragged me in. And so I got all excited to buy it at a bookstore, one of my few remaining local bookstores in Berkeley, Pegasus Books. It's a couple of them, this one's on Shattuck. And I ordered it and now they deliver it. So like a guy from Pegasus, like a guy who reads books, like ambles up Shattuck and he comes, I guess you know what a delivery is. But now I have this beautiful big book that I received from Pegasus, and I got my Pegasus reward card filled in and a bookmark. It's really cool getting stuff from. So I did the library thing, but then I also got a book so that the author can live in splendor. And if he or she wishes, may 069 in a mansion of some comfort. Okay, now we move forward.
Wait, what's the book?
Oh, it's called, here it is. It's something, it's cheerful. It cheers me up because, things are so dark and heavy these days. So you want to have light reading. So I got this book. We Keep the Dead Close, right? And it's big, but it's like really cool so far. I'm back to the slow pace because if I don't have to turn off my Wi-Fi, they still can't take this back. It's one of those magic books that cannot be taken back even when you have Wi-Fi. Did I say N41? If I didn't, I'm saying it now, N41. But it's really cool and spooky. It's about a mysterious murder at Harvard in 1969 of an anthropology grad student. And no one knows who did it. And now it's 50 years later, or however many years it is after that. And now a younger Harvard grad person is writing this book into his mystery and is identifying closely with the woman who was killed. And it's just really well written. And it'd be really surprising if all of a sudden it stops being well written after like page 25.
Well, it's hard to get
B7.
Mexican Gothic.
B7.
I just
What?
it's hard to get Mexican Gothic. I just went to Oakland ePort and there's zero available of 50 copies. And
No, that's right. That's
I'm,
why it was good. I don't know how I got to skip the line. I think it may have been because every week I try to save a convent from being repossessed by the landlord. And I think as a result, I put out that good vibe. And so I get some cool things like that. But yes, it's very hard to get. That's the thing about taking stuff out from public library, even ebooks, is apparently there's just a limited number of them and you got to wait. So it's kind of a brutal Darwinian, lovely literary scene.
something is on my mind that I think you should talk about.
Is it? Wait, I want you to say, let me guess what it is. And then if it is that, say great. And if not, say what it is that you're thinking. What I'm thinking you're thinking is that the next one, Paul, is I-20. Was that what you were about to talk about?
No.
Okay. I thought there was a 50% chance. Go ahead.
Mills College. Mills College closing. Mills College closing.
It's crazy. How can that happen?
You know what really pisses me off? I was listening to Forum this morning and somebody called in and said, with all the billionaires here, can't somebody just write a check and save them? And the president's response was, well, our financials don't look that good and the billionaires don't want to give us money. And that kind of wants me to get on a soapbox because, it's not like they're going to fly away. They're 150 years old. They deserve to have a lot of money. They do lots of good things. They are inclusive. They are diverse. And they don't have enough money to run their gorgeous campus. And because of that, no big people will give money to them in the way that they need to pull them out. And that
But what they do is deleterious to society. They do the worst thing, which is that they help develop independent minds and even focusing on developing the independent minds of brilliant women. And that is something that society cannot stand. And billionaires are drawing the line there. And I understand it.
That's exactly what I was feeling. Because it's just like the Marsh, no big money's ever going to come to Marsh because we don't do these things in the conservative way. So it's just another way to keep the people who need the diversity and all that stuff to be, like you just said, it's just another way to not be able to keep flourishing with diversity and inclusion.
Yes, we're in a war and we've been losing for 40 years. So yes, yes, it's awful. And go all the way up and down education, why don't you? And it's all been under attack, public education, public everything, G50, basically everything that Ben Franklin loved and many of the things he established are or have been under direct attack. 065. Mills College is especially cool, you're right. And so it's especially traumatic. I-24. Who is that guy still host Forum? Who was hosting Forum?
He retired.
Krasny?
Yes, he retired. I don't know. Have they replaced him yet, or are they auditioning people now? I don't know.
You're asking me. I thought Michael Krasny was still the host.
I'm not asking you. I'm
G46.
asking our people in bingo. Somebody knows. Have they actually replaced him with somebody, or are they just auditioning people right now?
I'm sorry, Josh. Is it too late to ask what that last ball was? The chatter is great, but I can't hear. Sorry.
Gee, do you know what color it was, David?
No, I'm afraid. It was green. Thank you, Dave, is saying it was green.
Green! That gives us a clue. Let me tell you all the greens. 46, 50, 52, 53, 56, 58. Does that work?
Looks like it's 42, I think.
42 isn't green.
Oh, 46? Was that one of the green ones Dave's asking?
Yes, 46.
Yeah, by stupid luck, I just put all the numbers in. Okay, so it's G46? Yeah.
The thing I'm definitely not going to do is just like say that all of the ones that I've called so far are B1, 7, 9, 15, I, 16, 17, 20, 22, 24, 27, 29, N, 33, 38, 40, and 41. G, we've covered, but 46, 50, 52, 53, 56, 58, and O, 62, 65, 68, 69, 73, and 74. I'm not going there. Don't try to get me to go there because I run a tight ship. And so I don't care. I'm going on. N45. Did I get it? Did I hit it?
Pretty sure. I say we just move on.
I-25. I-25. I was just realizing that you can't look at it in a line like I was reading. So you're going, were you looking like David, were you looking like at it, like numbers in random, the way I picked them in random order, and then trying to find each of the next thing? So it's going G49, G49. G60. Anyhow, Michael Krasny, not a great speller. I'm not going to go into it. G60. I hosted some spelling bees, some benefit spelling bees for small press distribution. And I'm not going to name names other than to say Michael Krasny did not spell well in those, and he did not take it gracefully. And I'm not talking anymore about it. I'm not.
I think Mina Kim took over from Michael Krasny. I think she's the new host.
I don't know how she spells Stephanie. I haven't done the research, but thank you. G47, G47. I mean, really angry from like in the early rounds, you know, the easy ones. I probably shouldn't have like emphasized his humiliation during the actual spelling bees. 075, 075. And it had nothing to do with the fact that he wasn't booking me. It's just like a total random thing that happened in the world. N31, N31. G48, G48, G48. When I had
Yeah, we got a bingo.
Whoa! Tanya Grove? Tanya Grove, it's awesome that you won, that putatively you have won. You have theoretically won. You will have really won after you prove that you've won, Tanya. And the way you prove that is either by reciting the Pentateuch word for word from the end to the beginning in Aramaic, or by showing me your card, or if you can't, telling me the numbers that you got.
I can't show you the card because it's one of those.
No, but I can do it.
How can you show? I don't understand. This is freaking me out. How can you see? Wait, can you see it?
Wait, Tanya.
No,
is that man? Did you know that man was there? Is he supposed to be in your apartment?
Oh my God! Where did you come
from? If he shows up in other people's rectangles, it's gonna get metaphysical for me.
Okay, so I'm going to say them out loud.
That's the best way to say them for me to hear them. Yes, go on.
All right, B15.
Yes.
I-17.
Yes.
3.
Yes.
You have to say yes. G60, 60.
Yes.
And O75.
075. So, yes, you have won bingo. And also, I want to let David in on the little prank that I played. I called a number that was the square root of -2. I had the ball square root of -2, and I just said it with mumblies, and that's why you didn't catch it. And so, in fact, you have 6 in a row. Congratulations. You have won, Tanya Grove. And what you have won is something that you and no one else who is here with us now has ever heard of. It is a kind of a prize that is unique and a first, David.
Wait. There's more
What?
bingo. There's more than one bingo.
What?
There's
Manic Mystic Michelle?
Michelle.
Also bingulated?
And it looks like Miss Bookkeeper's got it too.
And in bookkeeping? So this is like, this is sort of like what democratic socialism will be like, except everyone will win. So that's fantastic. Okay, then I need proof. Michelle, where are you?
Right here.
Yes, that I see.
Can you
I
see
see a
it?
really
It's
tiny
in
thing
red.
with little squiggles on it, and I believe what you're showing me is an X-ray of my heart valve. So could you just read it aloud to me as well?
Sure. B9,
Yes.
I20,
Yes.
free,
Yes.
G60, 075.
What was the G?
60.
Yes, you have bingulated. Congratulations. And before I go on to test our next possible winner, Michelle, how are you doing? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm 3 months from my spinal surgery. That's why I'm lying down. I'm healing very well. And I had my second vaccine shot today. So
Double mazel tov to you.
So
That's
double.
fantastic.
double good. And that's also why I'm lying down, but I'm feeling really good. Things are healing. Thanks for asking.
Oh yes, no, I was feeling some really cool vibes coming from Saugerties, New York, and I had a suspicion that it was you. So that's congratulations. Okay, and now, Anne of bookkeeping, you have also won.
Yeah, and I did it in the very last number that you called, 48. So maybe they got it before the 48.
Yeah, that is true.
Oh, okay. So hey,
But I'll be honest with you, Anne. I unmuted you because I wanted everyone to see your background. You're rocking that background this week.
Drew, she painted a Zoom background.
I just want to understand.
Was B3 a number?
What?
Was B3 a number?
It is a number and a letter, but it's not one that I called.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah. But the thing is, are you saying that you already had bingulated and then I called another one after you already had bingulated and you also had that?
I heard G48, but then I wasn't sure if the two people had bingos, if they even had G48 as the number they needed for bingo. I think they bingoed before I bingoed.
That is correct. That we had gotten the bingos before Josh had called G48.
So what I would like you to do is to make sure that you understand all of the details of what happened is go to, I have very few books that I'm proud of that I published, but go to Libby. There's no line for my nonfiction book titled G48. And it's all about what happened with that ball. I wrote it really quick.
Josh, before you mute me, I just want to say, if you're interested in murders in universities, Dorothy Sayers has one that's at Oxford called Gaudy Night.
Is she's the one with the great thing with the guy who solves the thing when he's in the hospital bed thing about Richard III or II?
I don't know if that's her. She has Lord Peter Wimsey as her guy, and Harriet Vane.
So. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you for the tip. Have you told me yes, you did. So you won. So we have 3 winners.
No, I didn't. The Marsh Tech keeps on telling me that I haven't won. So
no, I was counting Mystic Michelle as 2 because she just got her second COVID shot. So we have 2 winners plus you. David, sort it all out and give out things. Daughter of Time. Thank you, Josephine. Thank you, Nancy Rodriguez. Thank you. Daughter of Time by Josephine Tay. Great book. Really exciting. Okay, David.
So Tanya and Michelle, as the winners of game number 1 here at Marsh Bingo, you have won a Marsh membership at the bronze level, access to members-only events, special members-only discounts, and $5 off every general admission ticket to the Marsh, good for a year. As you are both, I believe, veteran bingo winners, you've probably heard it, but I will message you with information on how to claim your prize anyway. So congratulations. Michelle, glad you're doing better, and good to see everyone here.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations. I don't know how you did it, Michelle, because you won with the best numbers. Like, you super bingoed. And I don't know what they put in the water in Saugerties, New York. But keep drinking it. Keep drinking it. All right, everyone. I guess it's time to go on to our second game of bingo. In order to do that, I imagine I already did the thing I'm doing now while you didn't notice. And now we begin game number 2. And we begin with 061. I mean, he just did not like that he lost out in like the first round of a celebrity spelling bee, and that's all I'm saying about it. B11. B11. N38. N38. I still remember the word I lost my spelling bee on in 4th grade, tourniquet. Who asks a kid in grade school about tourniquet? It's wrong. B9. B9. Also, when I was a proofreader, I don't know why it came up so much, but I had to memorize the spelling of hemorrhage. Apparently, a lot of stuff was hemorrhaging from 1980 to 1982 in Chicago. One of those things that was hemorrhaging was the phone budget of Greenpeace, which we later solved the mystery of. B13. 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 TOURNIQUET. Tourniquet. Hemorrhage. HEMORRHAGE. G54. G54. Also, the members of The Who, really confusing in their spelling, because Pete Townsend has an H, but then John Entwistle doesn't have something. There's something weird about it. 064. 064. 064.
I want to know if Andrea's a good speller.
Well, I would imagine so.
Well, is she?
You lost, Andrea, I just saw you now. You lost on separate or separate? Recently?
No. Fifth grade.
In 5th grade. So yeah, you should let the shame drop away. Don't live with that shame. Don't.
I got to be a substitute for the National Spelling Bee about 5 years ago. I got to be a judge. It was a very fraught experience.
What was a word that came up that would be impressive?
You know, they kept asking them foreign words, which I thought was bizarre. It was all the regional winners around the state, all 5th through 8th graders. And you had to, if you got it right, there was silence. And everybody just had to sit there awkwardly. And if they got it wrong, then there was a ding. So
that's weird. That's like reverse
everything.
torture. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
N33. We had a little dictionary when I was in 1st grade. And I found that leading up to spelling bee, I could memorize the entire, it was like, 30 pages. 074. And if you can memorize the whole dictionary, it really gives you a leg up in a spelling bee. B12, B12. I'm 61, my mother is almost 94, and I still, when I write to her, I live in terror of misspelling something. And she'll correct me. N45, N45. O67, O67. It's not easy being raised by a librarian. O63, O63. She sort of kept trying to return me. We're really getting into some dark waters here. B15. B15.
It's a good thing you can turn off the Wi-Fi now.
No, this is, I had the Wi-Fi way off at that time, but no, my mother just, there was a certain age when I was a teenager and my mother was whatever she was, and she was dating, that she felt that she looked much younger than she was. And so when dates came over, she didn't want me to be there so that they could make some mathematics and say, well, oh, you have like a teenage son. That means you must be da-da-da old. And so she returned me for a while. I-24, I-24. I-20, I-20. I'm just thinking now, if I was as mischievous then as I am now, what I could have done is put on makeup with a beard of an old man and then show up and say, Mom, and then they know that she was like 300 years old. And that would really get it. N36, N36. G58, G58, G58. She wanted to date my oboe teacher. I shouldn't be going here because I've already dipped my toe in the dark waters and waves of Michael Krasny's spelling. But B7, B7. I was like, he's my oboe teacher. You can't date my oboe teacher. N43, N43. It's all kinds of brown. Clarinet, fine. But oboe, no. That's personal. N42, N42. And then he fired me, my oboe teacher, because I wasn't practicing. G59, G59. That was really humiliating. O71, O71. I think that's one reason I love my button accordion experience so much, is because I actually practice it because I enjoy it. That seems to be a key. Apparently it's helpful if you enjoy the thing that you're practicing. I-29, I-29. G47. I have a weird thing I want to ask. Do you ever like think of like, I don't know, like when you were, I don't know, if you're old enough, like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40, if you're old enough, 50 years ago for me. But let's say for me, like remembering when I was in my 20s and I worked at that newspaper, right, my early 20s, it freaks me out that I don't remember everyone's name and everything that I like. If you plopped me down in my life, then I would really be at a loss. And it's a weird thought, but it's just weird to me that I've had all these experiences, like 61 years of experiences, and most of them are like just, they've turned into mist. Is that supposed to happen? B8, B8. Thank God that won't happen to things I'm experiencing right now. Oh, 70. Oh, 70. Oh, 70. Oh, 70. Oh, 70. I-26. I-26. I-26.
I think we've got a bingo before the I-26. Claudia
Rosa?
She has a bingo.
Claudia, is that true?
Yes, it is. Yes. I don't think you can see, but
But I appreciate the gesture.
see, you can
No,
see
I see it. I'm sort of flipping out that you play in landscape mode.
that it's in pieces because I can't get the card to be little. So I have to put it this way.
I think we've all been there,
Yeah.
Claudia.
Thank you.
So what are your numbers that you won with?
Okay, let me try to get because I'm in a weird angle. Okay. B12.
Yes?
Yes, I-20.
Yes.
The free space.
Yes.
G58 and O70.
Oh, 70?
Yes.
Yes, you got bingo. And by the way, both winners, how many games did we play? 2? I think we played 2 games, right? Each game has had the free space in the middle.
Yes.
Right? I said that free space. And I've neglected to mention previously that to Tanya Grove, and that I will also say to you, is that by you getting a bingo with the free space, you not only both won bingo, but you've actually technically won BIFGO. It's actually called BIFGO as well when you get the free space in the middle.
Yeah.
So you are double winners of bingo and BIFGO.
Yay.
Yeah, congratulations. And as a result, I'm sure David is now going to surprise you with prizes that will just blow your mind. David?
Depends on how easily impressed you are, Claudia, but as winner of game
That's
number
what
2 here.
David, wait, hang on. That's what I said on my wedding night. Okay, go for it.
Boy, having to follow up Josh. What am I doing in this job? I'm here to tell you that as winner of game number 2, you have won a Marsh membership at the silver level, all the benefits of the bronze level, and $10 off every general admission to the Marsh, good for a year. So watch your chat. I will send you a private message on how to claim your prize. Congratulations.
Congratulations. And David, I know it'd be too much to ask of the Marsh, and this will never happen. But what if one day, when people win these memberships and they didn't get a chance yet to go to the Marsh, or they were far away, that they could use their membership discounts to pay for pay-per-view things on MarshStream? I know that can't happen, but just imagine a world in which it could. That's all I'm saying.
Well, Josh, does this mean, if you do have a bingo membership, if you have a membership and you want it at bingo, our video on demands are free with those memberships. So does that count?
So it's there.
It's already
It's there.
Already there.
Wait, I love this moment so much that we're having, Stephanie, that I almost want to turn off my Wi-Fi so that it can't be taken away from us. That's how strongly I feel about all of you folks being here. Okay, cool. Well, it's 7:50, and that means it's time for me to read a letter that my dad wrote when he was in his early 20s. As happens at all bingo games.
Boy, these bingo games are getting slower and slower, aren't they?
And I don't understand it because I barely speak other than calling out the numbers in a sort of a rapid fire. And so why does it take so long? So one thing I did, as I've explained before, I have not had the courage to open these or look at them, these letters that my cousin found that my father sent to his parents when he was in his 20s, except in the presence of you guys. But one thing I did for the first time this week is I took out all the envelopes and I put them in chronological order. So this is the first one. and it's not a letter. This is from August 19th, 1948 at 11:30 a.m. And what? Oh, wait, it's a thing. No, it isn't. I take it all back. It's a letter. Okay. So this is August 1948. My father, born March 3rd, 1924. He was 24 years old. It's on the letterhead of the People's Progressive Party of Georgia. I Googled the People's Progressive Party of Georgia. I found one thing about the People's Progressive Party of Georgia. And it was on this thing called JSTOR. And I read it, and I read the article, and it was real. It was a real thing that apparently had very little success. So it's all in the ballpark of what a corn blue thing would be. Okay, August 19th, 1948. Dearest parents, I am healthy and happy, and I hope that you are feeling good too. The work is exciting and interesting, and also pretty tame for such a workhorse as myself. I am staying with a Jewish progressive family here. They are really swell people. Oh boy, of course they come from New York. You know, a lot of people think that New Yorkers are like really insular, and that couldn't be further from the truth. By the by, the richest Jew, this is a Jewish heavy letter, the richest Jews in town, the Rich family, who own Rich's department store, the biggest department store in town, are one of the big numbers in the local Wallace organization. Notice the name of Mrs. Herman M. Rich as, appropriately enough, treasurer. Okay, Henry Wallace was running for president. And the People's Progressive Party of Georgia that my father was volunteering with, much to the consternation of the Ku Klux Klan and other racists, they were pushing for Henry Wallace's campaign, and they were also pushing, fighting against racism. What I learned from this article that I read on JSTOR about the People's Progressive Party of Georgia, the author, who's African American, critiqued the People's Progressive Party of Georgia by saying that, well, it wasn't a critique, but he said, why did not more blacks vote for Henry Wallace? Ultimately, why did not more blacks vote for Henry Wallace? And what he wrote in this article, which is from Atlantic Clark University, a great black university, is that blacks felt that their vote would be wasted because Henry Wallace couldn't win. And so they voted for Truman. And so it's like right now. It's just like, anyhow. I am too dog-tired to write anything more. Will let you know from time to time that I am still living and happy. Tell Izzy, if she wants to write me a letter. That's his little sister. My address, and he gives his address, which is 85 Alexander Street Northwest in Atlanta, Georgia. He closes with, I love you with all my heart and soul. I love you with all my heart and soul. Paul. And all I heard from him my whole life was that they were demon bastards. I don't understand. I'm sort of divided between that my dad built up how bad they were, but then I remember I met them and they were really bad. And then I'm thinking maybe they were really bad and he was trying really hard for them to love him. But I don't know. Maybe the other letters will tell me. So that is a letter from Atlanta on August 19th, 1948, to Mr. and Mrs. Kornbluth, 1777 Grand Concourse, Bronx, New York. By the way, no zip code. I don't know when the zip code started. I think there was the wheel by this point, but I'm not totally sure, but no zip code. So that's the letter. Oh, 1972 and 1971, I didn't realize. Oh, Rachel's reminding me that tomorrow's the first day of spring. And okay, there are many things that are going on in the chat area.
Well, do you think your grandparents were always bad, or they became demonish at a certain event that happened between them?
Or was it society that made them demons? I think they were people who were very much into being respectable, upwardly striving middle-class New York Jews. And my father became someone who was not respectable and did not confer respect onto his parents, did not reflect upon them the way they want to be reflected. So on the one hand, you could say, well, that's just, I gotta read one more letter and then I'm gonna get out of here. Okay. I read one more letter? No? Okay.
You can do it if you want, but that'll mean one less week of letters for us.
That's true. Let me just give you a preview. August 21st, 1948. That's the date of it. I'm getting really curious. What's gonna happen? The thing is, I feel, you know, like the cliche that the is it a cliche? The son is the father of the boy's the father of the man. The son is there's something like that. Like, anyhow, I feel like I am watching my father in this past time, as a parent would watch a child, which may have something to do with the fact that my father at this age was at the age that my son is now. But I want to adopt him and rescue him from his actual parents. And wouldn't that be ironic? And maybe a Cyril M. Kornbluth kind of science fiction thing, David. Wouldn't that be ironic if my father had ended up being adopted by his son, who went back in time? And what if everything was going to go through, but then the adoption agency decided that I live in too much squalor and they wouldn't let me adopt him? What if that happened?
You
That would be
really
amazing.
have finally, Josh, you have a science fiction book to write after your uncle legacy. Is he an uncle?
My father's late cousin, Cyril M. Kornbluth, yes.
A late cousin. Here you are, you're on the track.
I don't know, would you guys read that? I mean, it would have to be good, but let's say it was good. Would you read a science fiction thing about a son or daughter went back in time, adopted the parent to save the parent from the parent's parents?
Absolutely. If you did a good job of it, it's just quite a good story, Josh.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Maybe I'll do it. That's really cool. Okay, cool. Well, as it always does, reading these letters from the past get me into a very sort of mellow and nostalgic mood. And the only way to snap out of it is to play the Marsh theme song.
But meanwhile, everybody, come see Josh be interviewed by me, just me and Josh, and we're going to talk about these letters and the community that you all have made, which I think is just amazing and phenomenal. And so if you want to see this conversation, it's next Thursday on MarshStream at 7:30.
And can I just say to Ellie, beautiful flower arrangement as always. Brightens up the entire screen as usual. Thank you. Okay. Eventually, I might change this tune so it sounds more like someone to watch over me. But right now, it doesn't. It just sounds like Marsh Bingo, and you're all unmuted, and we can all sing together what together means over Zoom.
Marsh Bingo.
Marsh Bingo.
You're going too fast.
Marsh
Bingo.
Marsh
Bingo.
Marsh
Bingo.
Marsh Bingo. One more time for recalling our past and keeping those who are gone alive in our memories. Marsh
Bingo.
Marsh
Bingo.
Marsh
Bingo.
And may we be remembered as well by our loved ones.
Marsh Bingo.
Marsh
Bingo.
Marsh
Yay.
Thanks, everybody.
Bravo.
Have a great week and weekend and week. And if you're here, I'll see you next Friday.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Wow, they used to play it.
How do I describe my journey with you?
Your mother, who takes care of you, who takes you to the doctor when you're sick. Your mother.
Good morning, New York. Buenos dias. It's me. What's up?
We went out for lunch at a sushi place where she tried sushi for the first time and she liked it.
I see that change can happen. I know things can shift and change for good.
I am dizzily dazzled with stars in my eyes.
Same level as I broke my neck. But he's not getting the same return of function I am.
And I don't want any of your smart aleck sex talk that I usually get when I get.
This is beyond the marsh because what you're doing is planting beautiful seeds for artists to grow.